The poem. The poem begins with a description of Alice, a woman who had once known joy and beauty in life but is now living in destitution. Wordsworth emphasizes her tragic fall from grace as her once bright life has been reduced to the direst of circumstances. The narrator paints a vivid image of Alice's suffering, particularly the emotional anguish caused by her poverty. Through Alice, Wordsworth explores the deep psychological effects that poverty has on individuals. A significant part of the poem is Alice's interaction with a stranger, that is, a speaker, who finds her while she is lamenting her miserable condition. Alice's inner torment is expressed through her inability to find solace in anything, not even in her own memories. She is disillusioned by the world around her and feels utterly abandoned. Her situation is worsened by the social indifference that characterizes the society she lives in. However, the poem also highlights a human capacity for empathy as the narrator expresses a deep sympathy for her plight. As the poem progresses, it becomes evident that Alice's poverty has led her to a spiritual and emotional breakdown. She reflects on her earlier life when she was once more hopeful and content. The poem concludes with the suggestion that though Alice's external circumstances are bleak, her spirit remains resilient, and there is a subtle call for social compassion and change. Themes in the poem: poverty and its effects on the human spirit. The central theme of Alice's Fell or poverty is the debilitating effect of poverty. Wordsworth does not simply describe the physical suffering caused by material deprivation, but dwells into the emotional and psychological impact on Alice. Her poverty does not only leave her hungry or homeless, it strips her of her dignity, hope, and sense of identity. This emotional distress is symbolized by her inability to find comfort in the memories of her past life. Wordsworth's portrayal of Alice highlights the isolation and despair that accompany extreme poverty. Social marginalization of the poor. Through Alice's story, Wordsworth critiques the social system that neglects the poor and leaves them vulnerable to suffering. Alice's plight is not an isolated incident, it reflects the broader social issues of the time. Her fall from grace is symbolic of the disregard for the well being of the poor in society. Wordsworth's sympathy for Alice is not just for her as an individual, but also for the many who are similarly disenfranchised. The poem then serves as a social commentary, urging readers to reflect on the treatment of the poor and the consequences of systemic neglect. The power of empathy and human connection. Despite the bleakness of the poem, Wordsworth also conveys the importance of human empathy and compassion. The narrator, though a stranger to Alice, feels deeply for her suffering, and this emotional connection forms the crux of the poem. In Alice's vulnerability, there is an implicit call for solidarity and care. Wordsworth seems to suggest that while society may overlook individuals like Alice, personal acts of kindness and understanding can offer a sense of comfort even if it does not immediately alter her situation. Structure and style. The poem is written in a ballad form, a style that was commonly used in Wordsworth's early poetry. The ballad is effective for conveying the emotional weight of the poem with its rhythmic simplicity and lyrical nature. The use of conversational language also makes the poem accessible and relatable. Wordsworth's straightforward and unadorned language mirrors the theme of poverty itself, simple, raw, and without the luxury of embellishment. Moreover, Wordsworth's use of nature imagery is prevalent throughout the poem. While Alice's life is marked by suffering and isolation, there are moments where she recalls a connection to the natural world, a source of solace and strength. Wordsworth's romanticism shines through here as he suggests that even in her darkest moments, Alice's connection to nature offers a glimmer of hope. Conclusion. In Alice's Fell or Poverty, William Wordsworth weaves a tragic yet empathetic portrayal of the effects of poverty. Through the character of our lives, Wordsworth highlights the emotional and spiritual toll of economic hardship while also critiquing the societal structures that perpetuate such inequalities. The poem remains relevant today, offering a reminder of the importance of compassion for those who suffer and the need for social change to address the root causes of poverty. Ultimately, the poem is a call to action, one that urges readers to recognize the humanity of those who live on the margins of society and to offer not just charity but genuine understanding and support. Thank you.